Welcome. Today, we're diving into some core concepts that form the foundation of data analytics. We'll explore variables, operators, vectors, and how to produce output. This unit is all about understanding the building blocks that help us manipulate and analyze data effectively. Let's get started. Let's talk about variables, the building blocks of any program. A variable is basically a name that holds a value, so you can use it later. You create one by assigning a value to a name, using an arrow that points from the name to the value. In R, these names are case-sensitive and should always start with a letter. This simple concept lets us store and work with data efficiently as we move forward. Let's talk about managing variables in our workspace. The command ls lists everything we currently have stored, all our variables and objects. If we want to tidy up our rem, lets us remove anything we no longer need. For example, if we create a variable with the value 5 and another called name with the value Anita ls, we'll show both. Then if we remove x with rem, x, it's gone from the workspace. This keeps things clean and organized as we work. Let's take a closer look at operators in R, the building blocks for making calculations and decisions in your code. At the base level, we have arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiply, and divide. These handle the math. Next up are relational operators. They compare values and return true or false, helping us check conditions. Finally, logical operators like and, or, and not let us combine those conditions to make complex decisions. Together, these operators give us the tools to manipulate data and control the flow of our programs. Let's talk about vectors, a fundamental concept in this part of our journey. The function C combines individual values into a single vector, which is basically a list of elements. You can access these elements by their position, like the second item, or by a condition, such as all values greater than 15. This flexibility makes vectors powerful for storing and manipulating data efficiently. It's a key building block for everything we'll do next. Let's talk about vector arithmetic and something called the recycling rule. When we add two vectors of the same length, it's straightforward. Each element pairs up and adds together. But what happens when the vectors aren't the same length? The shorter one gets recycled, or repeated, to match the length of the longer vector. This lets us do element-wise operations without worrying about matching sizes exactly. It's a simple rule, but it's key to working efficiently with vectors. In R, we encounter several special values that represent unique situations. NaN stands for not a number, like when you try dividing 0 by 0. Infinity shows up when something grows beyond bounds, say, 1 divided by 0. Null means there's no value at all, a complete absence. And num marks a missing or unknown value, something we don't have data for yet. These special values help us handle exceptions and incomplete data in our calculations. When we want to see the value of something in R, there are two common ways to do it: print and cat. Print shows the value along with its index marker, which is useful to know exactly where the output comes from. Cat, on the other hand, prints the value plainly, no extra formatting, so you add your own spacing. For example, if we assign 42 to x, print x shows the value with its index, while cat lets us create a custom message like value is 42. This is how we produce output in R. When working with objects in programming, it's important to understand their core properties. First, the mode tells us the basic type, like numeric, character, or logical. Then, length reveals how many elements the object contains. Attributes give us extra details, such as names or dimensions. And sometimes, we need to convert or coerce an object into another type, using functions like as numeric. These concepts help us manage data effectively and keep our code clear. That wraps up what we've covered in Unit II. We've learned how to create variables using the arrow, how operators combine values, and how vectors work element by element with recycling. We also explored the main ways to show output, using print and cat. Next, we'll dive into Unit III, exploring inbuilt functions and packages. This video was created with SlideSpeak. Visit SlideSpeak to turn your presentations into engaging AI-narrated videos.